I have a question. This is a request for more information from President Ted Wilson a while back right here. Elder Wilson spoke at the annual council and he gave the following message: God's prophetic movement, message, and mission and their attempted neutralization by the devil. The transcript can be found online right here. President Wilson gave many examples of how the devil is trying to attack and undermine not only the Adventist church, but also his own family. So let's listen.
In the last year or so, the devil has attempted to neutralize every one of our precious 3 daughters, their families, and us as the parents.
So the devil has attempted to neutralize every one of our 3 precious daughters. Now, I want you to listen very carefully as he describes how did the devil attack his family, and pay close attention to his words.
And most recently, our 3rd daughter, Catherine, and her husband, Bob, were expecting their 3rd child until 3 weeks ago, when they lost the little baby, our 9th grandchild. After the premature delivery at 4 months, Catherine held the perfectly formed little boy in her hand. And when the Lord returns, Catherine's little son will be placed in her arms, and he will grow up in heaven.
So this is a very sad story, and I am very sorry to hear what has happened. As the public leader for our church, Elder Wilson made a choice to make this story public and share it with the whole world. He said that the devil attacked and his daughter gave birth to a premature baby at 4 months. He said that at 4 months, she had a, quote, perfectly formed little boy in her hand, and that when Jesus returns, that boy will be placed in her arms and he will grow up in heaven. This is a big problem, and it raises many important questions that need to be answered, because according to our own official ministry magazine, it says right here that Adventist hospitals with the Adventist name and approval of church leadership were performing abortion on demand to the 20th week and even later for compelling social reasons, and still what? Still be in harmony with the church's guidelines. And that is a quote from the GC Vice President on July 8, 1970. Top church leaders admitted over 40 years ago that Adventist hospitals were killing children on demand even past 5 months, and yet here we have the GC president who tells us that it's already a perfectly formed little boy by just 4 months. President Wilson says that his grandson is going to be raised at the resurrection, will be placed in his mother's arms, and will grow up in heaven. This, of course, begs the question, what about the thousands of perfectly formed little boys who were violently tortured and killed in Adventist hospitals? Will they go to heaven too? Will their mothers be there to greet them? What about all of the perfectly formed little girls, the thousands and thousands of little girls who had their arms torn off and their vaginas ripped out while they were still alive? Are they going to heaven too? President Wilson is upset because the devil attacked and one of his grandsons died. Every year, an estimated 41 to 56 million little boys and girls are destroyed. That is over 100,000 children every day. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. President Wilson loses one grandson and gets upset, says that the devil is attacking his family every day. The Creator God is in the midst of his wonderful and marvelous and fearful work of creating a little child, a little human being, and every 24 hours, more than 100,000 of these children are violently murdered, and the president of the Adventist Church shockingly defends it.
The abortion issue, and let me just say in little parenthesis here, we cannot be the conscience for someone else in this situation.
Now, who can explain this great contradiction? Elder Wilson opposes Satan's attack on his family and his precious grandson, but he defends the violent attack on other children as, quote, freedom of conscience. If Satan hurts children, Elder Wilson says that's bad and should be loudly condemned. But when other people do the exact same thing, we are supposed to just sit here and accept and defend it. When Satan does it, that's bad. But when people follow Satan's example and do the same thing, we are to respond differently. Can someone please explain why that is? This is a blatant contradiction that needs to be answered. How can we Adventists be the remnant when we openly, publicly support the breaking of the Sixth Commandment? When Catholics and evangelicals ask us why we support killing children, how are we to give an answer from the Bible? If we can't give answers from the Bible for our own public teachings, then doesn't this hurt our witness? The Bible says, be ready always to give an answer. Why is it that church leaders want us to always give an answer from the Bible except for abortion? Why is it that abortion is the only topic where we are told to cite from these stupid, idiotic guidelines? The Bible says that Jesus hates the shedding of innocent blood. Why are we Adventists so anxious for Jesus to return while we openly support and defend the very thing that he hates? How are we to enjoy eternity with Jesus while we denied and opposed him on this earth? When Jesus shows us the multiplied millions who were led astray or lost by our false witness, what answer will we give? The Bible says that teachers will have a stricter judgment. If people who murder children will be punished so terribly, then what will happen to us as a church who openly teach that one has religious freedom? You have the freedom in the name of religion to murder a little helpless child.